Texas redrawing their congressional map would get you 5 safe red seats. Means that California, New York, Illinois, and Maryland are all going to redraw their maps to add safe.
Well, they'll do it anyway.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, they'll do it anyway. Why? If we stop over there, they would have done it anyway. Look, a lot of these states, I watched this morning as Democrats are complaining, and they're complaining from states where they've done it, like in Illinois, like in Massachusetts. I watched this lunatic, Pocahontas. She's a total lunatic. I don't know what she's on. She's all jumping up and down like I've never seen anything like it, talking about supporting the communist mayor. And he's not a socialist. He's a communist, okay? This is not a socialist mayor. This is a communist.
I love those babies. That's pretty funny.
I couldn't help myself. They're
the communist mayor of New York, soon to be mayor-elect, as I call him, was called out by Andrew Cuomo this morning. Apparently, he's got a rent-controlled apartment in Astoria, Queens, that he did not reveal to the New York City public. He's been living in it for years, even though his family is worth millions. And Cuomo has gone on the attack today, demanding that he give up the apartment for a single mother and 3 kids who could really use it. And then Mandami countered by saying, go F yourself. When I got it, I was making $45,000 a year. And I was working, oddly, in the housing department. He says he found it by accident. But no, I swear.
Whoops. I just have to walk by. And
a
there's
1-bedroom in Queens. This is pretty close by the train. It's a block away. So it's a rent-stabilized apartment for $2,300. It's astounding that it's $2,300. Nobody seems to be making a case for the fact that it's $2,300 and it's rent-stabilized, for Christ's sakes.
Well, that's the whole issue, though. I mean, the whole rent stabilization or whatever you want to call it is it creates this slumlord situation because landlords literally cannot afford to do repairs on apartments and things like that. And it's a death spiral. So that's the kind of world that he wants to live in.
Unfortunately, he makes tons of money, and you do have some sort of checks and balances on it, and his net worth is not the same as he's claiming the $45,000 when he moved in as an assistant to the city councilwoman who got him the apartment. So, but there's other levels of socialist discussion now in New York. Apparently, there's means testing even for subway cards now. They have reached almost 50% of the fares. Didn't go on when I was living there my whole life. Apparently, this is a socialist program to allow people who simply can't afford the subway fare. And apparently that is now approaching 50% of riders who now get a discount under this socialist program run by the MTA in New York just for subway trains. They'd like to get it to 0 if they can. But as I said on the show before, back in the old days, the entire subway money input paid for all the different programs in New York up until, I believe, into the 90s. The revenue from the trains and buses, Eric, was because the trains kind of run themselves. You have some employees, you have a conductor, but it's not like there are people serving drinks on board the thing. There's one guy going up and down all day long. So all of the revenue, which was tens of millions of dollars, paid for all the different social programs in New York. And now they want to get rid of the fare itself, thereby having no revenue for any social programs. But that being said, this guy living in Astoria, Queens in a 1-bedroom apartment with his family money, and as Cuomo pointed out, flying to Uganda for 3 weddings that cost millions of dollars he had 3 parties going on in Uganda, his mother country. The guy becomes a citizen in like 2019, and then of course gets a rent stabilized apartment immediately. It's a great country.
It's a good deal if you can get it, man. It's
a
great deal if you can get it. By the way, I just put a poll up on YouTube, those who are watching here. I wanted to know if you got a notice about the show starting, because I noticed that there's not nearly as many people watching at the moment. And so far, the show is saying 53% of the people never got notified that the show started.
Yeah, that's an old trick by YouTube trying to cut into our thing. Evil empire.
Yeah, well,
But,
it's
all
frustrating.
right, where do you want to start with this thing? Because there's more news than we could even cover.
And we'll just cover what we can. So we'll start
There's
off
news
with
happening right up to the moment we go on air.
Yep. Well, we'll start up with the thumbnail, which is a $50 million bounty on Maduro. I was surprised to find out we already had a $15 million bounty on him, and now it's a $50 million bounty. So that's what, 2.5 bin Ladens?
Well, I guess the 15 didn't work. I mean, in my comedy movie, there's a bunch of college kids who decide to pay off their student loans by going down to Venezuela and get Maduro. It's called Getting Maduro, the name of my movie pitch. And these frat kids who are just drunken frat kids decide, about 6 of them, to go down and simply get Maduro and split the money. But hijinks occur when they get to Venezuela.
Well, I was thinking about that. I like your movie idea too.
Getting Maduro.
But I thought there was I'm like, is there precedent for that? I guess Noriega would be
of
precedent
course.
for
Manuel
it.
Noriega, the same exact story. Accused of drug profiteering, which is what he's saying Maduro's doing, is drug profiteering.
And terrorism.
And terrorism, which was the same as Noriega. And Noriega ended up in a federal pen in Miami, where I don't know if he's still alive, but he was in there for a long time. If he's still alive, that's where he is. But they went down and got him. Remember, Eric? I mean,
I don't remember the details. I just remember that they did get him. I'm like, and this is a leader. I think it was a CIA op or whatever. And
yeah, they physically went down and got him.
It was around that time of Oliver North, so it kind of got rolled in with this, drugs for Contras and all that. But I'm like, wow.
This is very similar. I don't know if he's thinking of going in there and snatching him. But wow, I mean, why not George Soros if we're going to go there? Finding Maduro, starring Sean Penn. Okay, I think Sean Penn would be a good director for this. He's a very good director. I don't want to put him in front of the camera. I don't even think he's camera ready. I saw him on Bill Maher the other night. Holy crap, he looked like a hobo living in back of a liquor store, for Christ's sakes. But he could still direct.
Okay, well, yeah, and he also can hang out with folks like El Chapo, so it's not that far of a difference.
What are you talking about hanging out with El Chapo? That's where the money's coming from for the budget.
Well, we know
$23 million. I put a budget together last night. It's $23 million, and the Chapos are covering 60% of it.
Well, they could do that with pocket change. While we're talking about cartel members, though, I don't know if you saw this post fly by Joe Kent. So Joe Kent is now on the job. And apparently we picked up another Sinaloa cartel leader.
Not bad, but as you know, on this show, many times I've been denounced as a psycho for calling for military intervention to go after the drug cartels. Marco Rubio went into explicit detail today as to why Trump has ordered the U.S. military to now intervene with the drug cartels in Mexico, saying that these are terrorists. They are not gangs. They control swaths of territory. They have weapons that are as strong as any military weapons in the world. And we have to stop treating them like gang members. And I have said this to you on this show on numerous occasions, to go in there and get them. In fact, I had another movie idea, which I talked to Thomas Jane about, which was still kicking around, about 6 guys going down like a Dirty Dozen team to engage the cartels.
So yeah, the fraternity for Maduro and the Dirty Dozen for
one's an action picture, the other one's a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 different things. They could be on the same bill.
Hijinks will occur.
Right. No, the Dirty Dozen one, that we're really kicking around.
Well, I mean, it can be argued that the government is infiltrated by so many of the cartel members,
or at least their money.
They have armies. It is literally standing armies of different areas.
Right. But Rubio explained it. He said, you can't just sit back and do nothing. I mean, you have to literally go down there and get them.
Yeah.
Which is what I said a year ago, 2 years ago on this show.
Right. Well, they got the invite. So that it makes a big difference. I mean, well, that's a good example is Colombia, I think, has been cleaned up quite a lot. And again, they invited us to go in there and crack skulls.
Right.
So it can happen.
When does Trump get his Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, having Armenia and Azerbaijan sign a peace deal today after 35 years being brought together. Dude, I did not see that coming. I did not see Saudi Arabia that's endorsing Israel as a state and denouncing Hamas as a terrorist organization. Who saw that one coming? I mean, he's splitting the politics of the Middle East to help out Israel in this battle against these savages. At some point, you might as well just print up the Nobel Prize and give it to him.
Well, I think he's going to probably take about 5 more peace deals before they give it to him, because
one thing I learned the other day, I didn't understand this. I called up or looked up on Grok the amount of peace deals that Trump has had in the past 6 months, and they had 0. And they cited the fact that the New York Times and Wikipedia have not covered it, so it does not exist, which is why they don't cover these things, because it feeds into that AI beast that you're always talking about, Eric, and there's nothing to kick back. They said these are mere rumors. Wikipedia and New York Times have not acknowledged any peace treaties or peace deals by Donald Trump since he's been in office. And I went, wow, now I know why they don't cover stories. It's not to be a prick about it. There is an electronic reason to not cover them.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think that that's a happy result. And now they won't, especially because of it, but they weren't doing it before either.
Right.
So,
but anybody Googling that or grokking that is going to get the same answer, 0.
Well, you know what? I'll give you something you should try right now. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and start typing and type in president space and then see if it auto completes for you. See what it suggests.
Okay, hold on. I have a feeling it's going to say
everybody
Obama.
In the audience, please do this as well. Pick up your iPhone. I don't know about Android, but pick it up and start typing president and then space, and then just tell me if you see the word Trump. And even keep going to a T and see if you get the word Trump.
Well, the first, I just put president. I didn't put, do I put something else?
No, put president, hit space, and look, it should auto suggest. It'll put little things on top.
Wait, mine just keep going to Trump. President and then space.
Right. As if you're typing it out.
Okay, so I put president and then I have nothing. Okay. It still goes to Trump. Top stories, President Trump.
Okay.
Yeah,
do it like within your text app or whatever. Like your text.
Well, I'll do this after the show.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
you guys can do it at home. But
yeah,
we got some fish to fry here. All right, what else you got?
All right. Well, that was just an example, and you'll see from the chat. Howard Stern.
It looks like when he discovered his show was doomed, including call from Best Friend. It's sad. It really is sad what happened to Howard. You know, like I said, I was doing Greg yesterday, and he was the guy who replaced Howard in Washington. Greg Bedell from the news radio show down in Montgomery, Alabama. He replaced Howard after he went to D.C. After Howard went from D.C. to New York, and he also sat in for him as a co-host. But we were talking about, I had given him the Fart Man record through Boy Gary, and Jackie the Joke Man is an old friend who's coming on the What's Up with Lord Buckley channel too. We're going to discuss the dark side of Howard Stern when Jackie the Joke Man comes on the show. There was an album we had called, it was one of the Lampoon comedy records, but on there was a bit by Roger Bumpus called I Am Fart Man. And I gave that to Boy Gary, and then Stern latched onto it and never gave anyone credit, creating this Fart Man persona. Never giving Lampoon credit, never giving, not me, I didn't make it, but Roger himself, who did make it, stealing that, and just other weird stories that we're going to talk about, Jackie and I.
No, that sounds good. However, it appears Stern is disagreeing with it, or he's vowing that he will be back.
Okay. I mean, he can, to his credit, he can launch a podcast tomorrow and have the same amount of listeners the next day. So
I hope he does.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope he does for one reason, because he has been shitting on podcasts now for decades. Literally, like Joe Rogan, he's gone on and on. He's like, podcast isn't a real show. It's not a real thing. And he keeps going on.
Well, you can make the argument that Sirius is not terrestrial radio too. That when he went to Sirius, He refused to acknowledge that he'd been defeated by the FCC and that he was running and hiding at Sirius non-terrestrial radio. You can make that argument as well, which people did make at the time.
Well,
it's also weird. I mean, Howard's fan base, if you went by today, are all Trump people. I mean, cab drivers, truck drivers, people on the street. His entire audience, when at the peak, would be Trump followers today. But when you marry a supermodel and you can't get pussy from her, she makes you woke to have sex with her, which has happened in Hollywood to a lot of guys that I know here who just want to have a sexual relationship with their wife or their girlfriend. It's a woman-driven derangement syndrome, the TDS, as many of us realize.
Is that what happened to Bill Burr?
Happened to Bill Burr. It happened to Stern. I mean, it's happened to a lot of people. But Howard and his original wife were totally normal. It's only when he goes into the supermodel area does he begin to change politically. And you can look that up.
Well, I remember he was with Allison for forever. I mean, it was actually really surprising because, you know, he would do, you know, if anybody watched Private Parts, the movie or whatever, you know, he's sitting there doing with these women on stage, but he led the quietest damn home life imaginable, pretty much a shut-in. And I guess
who would be more anti-Joe Biden in the real world than a Howard Stern? In a normal world where this didn't happen, you think Howard Stern in his heyday would be, you know, in favor of Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden? It sounds insane.
No, and Trump used to be a regular on there, damn near.
Trump was. There were times when Trump came on. You didn't live there, so I mean, it was quite common for Trump to come on and then just lampoon some other guest who was on about seeing them out about in the town and just completely denouncing their girlfriends and dates and everything, and just these fighting that went on, this mock fighting among the guests, which was hysterical.
Yeah, fair enough. And so we'll go on.
Trump was part of that. Trump was part of that whole thing.
Yeah. I didn't hear all the Trump. I mean, I was listening to Stern when I was stationed at Fort Irwin in California in the middle of the desert. It was syndicated and we could hear the signal faintly out of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Coming across the desert. But,
I mean, the greatest shows on earth, I mean, would be, you know, when Dice and Kinnison and Gilbert were there at the same time. I mean, there are shows. I have every tape. I taped everything back in those days because I knew I was listening to radio history. There are tapes that I have of every single show where Kinnison is on, when Dice is on, when Gilbert was on, that are just radio magic, Eric, that should be in some Hall of Fame somewhere.
Well, you should send it to me so it can be digitized.
That's how it starts, my friend.
You get the double recorder, go in Goodwill, buy some used tapes, dub it over, and send it over.
This stuff is gold, Hunley.
Well,
Comedy gold.
Put it on locals.
There's one point where Gilbert's girlfriend rips him off for jewelry and flees back to Russia. That episode. I mean, there's stuff where Kinnison comes right out of a club, still completely bombed and using, you know, right there, and has a feud with Dice. I mean, this stuff is gold.
Wow. Well, that's Howard of the past. And we move to the future, which is Gutfeld. And
Gutfeld, I predict, will land one of the 3 network slots. He will leave Fox, is my prediction. He will leave Fox and he will end up at one of the 3. I don't know if it's the 11:30 slot or the later one, but this was an audition by NBC, in my humble opinion, of Greg Gutfeld.
Well, let's see.
Okay.
I walk into this bar and I'm with my friend Andy. We just got off shooting something and I walk in and I'm looking around. I go, what the hell have I got into? And then I see you and you look at me and you have your eyes just kind of explode and you run towards me and you tackle me like you're like a giant golden retriever. You're like on top of me. And so we're wrestling.
How long has Jimmy Fallon been Tonight Show now? About 10 years?
10 years about. Yeah, it's about time for Jimmy to pack it in and maybe replaced by Greg Gutfeld.
That could be. I mean, watch the entire late night.
Yeah.
Because I don't think NBC will get rid of the Tonight Show. I think it's
No,
solid IP.
it's too iconic. It's too iconic. The other ones are not so iconic.
Well, especially like you pointed out, the next one to go, Jimmy Kimmel. I didn't realize that he's been on there for like over 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, he's been doing that thing forever. Because he went right from the
forever comes to an end sometimes, Hunley.
Well, I mean, 20 years is a pretty damn good run. I mean,
it's a good run.
Leno, what did Jay Leno have? About 20 something years.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of a blip interruption in that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's some good news on the pop culture front. Gina Carano.
Good story. Very good. Yeah. With a groveling apology, Eric, by Disney and Lucasfilms, saying they can't wait to work with her. I never heard that ever in my life. Well, she was fired. Really, the wording of the firing was so harsh when she was originally fired. And completely different tone about this apology.
Well, because her firing was so obviously unhinged and wrong, especially because her co-star, Pedro Pascal, literally did the exact same tweet from another direction. So it was like you had a perfect A-B comparison where one is a woke asshole and the other is a reasonable human. So they've got to get rid of the reasonable human. And here is the tweet that got her canned. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews.
Sounds familiar.
The post continued. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? That's it. That's what got her fired. I mean, it was not calling somebody out. It was not anything abusive. It was literally stating history.
Well, also, what's his name? The guy you mentioned, Pedro there, urged her to put up support for trans people and call it a day. And she said, what? He goes, yeah, this will all go away if you just put up a pro-trans. Like, it had nothing to do with trans. He was just telling her to put that up to save her.
Well, she pissed them all off because she said that her pronouns were beep, boop, bop, or something like that, which is like R2D2 sounds.
Yeah. It's so dark. But they didn't announce the settlement, which is typical. But nevertheless, what a groveling apology.
Yeah, I think that's great. She obviously, well, you know why, right? She had a Peter Thiel situation. Elon Musk funded her
Elon Musk backed her. Yeah, deep pocket.
And so he could go to the mat. He could outdo Disney. He has enough money to buy Disney. So,
well, speaking of celebrities who were gorgeous, Maxim came out with their 5 unsexiest women in Hollywood yesterday. Which it's cruel, it's harsh, but Maxim is not buckling. Apparently, they believe, and their readers believe, that these are the top 5 unsexiest women in show business today. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to read the list.
Well, hold on. Let's go through it together.
Go ahead.
Okay,
we'll do it together, and I'll read the list, and Eric can show the photos. The first one on the list is a woman named Sarah Jessica Parker.
Now, that shocked me, honestly.
Okay. All right.
It did. I mean, I'm not saying that she is a be-all, end-all, but to be the head of the unsexiest list is like, really? I mean,
well, first of all, you got to be somebody to be on the list. So
I get that, but there are plenty of somebodies who are annoying.
Well, again, this is unsexy, not annoying. So keep in mind, this is from a sex-driven men's magazine, and their readers polling and everything else. This is not an editor coming up with this. Number 2, which I completely agree with.
Look at the quote here. How the hell did this racehorse, Barbaro-faced broad, manage to be a star on a show with sex in the title?
Absolutely true. No, I completely agree with that. And let me tell you something. One of the most despicable women in show business. I was on a movie with her, and we had an assistant camera girl who was from Brazil or Argentina, but lived in New York. She was American. And besides being the assistant or camera, she was a film loader, assistant camera woman in the camera department. They forced her to pick her up every day to save money, to pick up her, to take her to the set. Mm-hmm. So she'd get to the place where Parker is staying, and Parker would just not come downstairs. She would just lollygag around and was late every freaking day. So finally, the producers confronted Sarah Jessica Parker and just flipped out and said, you can't keep coming late to this thing. And she says, I'm not coming late. This girl is picking me up late every single day. And they fired the girl. And the entire crew, knew what I just told you. And every single person on that crew hated her guts from that day on. And this is the type of person she is. So I have no love lost for Sarah Jessica Parker, especially because I had a crush on the girl, and that ended my pursuit.
Yeah, as long as we got that.
Number 2 on the list. I've said this for years. This is so easy. I don't know how this chick, other than the fact that her husband was the director of Sideways, and she kept hawking him to put her in the next script. I forget the director of Sideways, a fairly famous director. Maybe someone in the chat knows. I forget his name. But anyway, they were married together, and she kept hawking him to put her in every one of his movies. And finally, a guy who worshipped his own career decided that she had to go to save his own directing career, because he was a writer-director. And she was jettisoned by this guy. And this is what the result is. This is the look that came from that. That's Sandra Oh, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how she.
Yeah.
I don't even know how she works.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The third one is not even alive. So this is a weird. I don't understand how this makes the list. This is really the craziest pick of the 5. This is, of course, Amy Winehouse.
This is actually probably the cruelest one of the 5.
This is the cruelest one of all. This might be the setup of a joke or something for the 5. We once did What If They Lived for MTV Magazine, and it was rock stars drawn by a cartoonist if they were still alive. So he drew a picture of Jimi Hendrix, and he drew a picture of Jimi Hendrix at 80. He drew a picture of Janis Joplin at 27, drew a picture of her at 70, and that was the joke. And the kicker to the joke was David Crosby. And here was a picture of David Crosby, and then what if he lived? And of course, David Crosby was still alive, which was the joke. And I got a call from the president of MTV in the middle of the night yelling, I swear to God, this is the one on the right, the lower right that Eric's pulled up. The president of MTV called me at home in the middle of the night screaming, I don't even want to yell how loud he was yelling, but he just kept yelling, Crosby's alive, Crosby's alive, Crosby's alive. And I just had to suppress my laughter. And he said, you got to call the printer. And I said, it's too late, bro. It's gone to press. And indeed it did. So maybe this is the Winehouse version of this particular joke.
Maybe. And I mean, honestly, not really that fair. I mean, at the end, she looked rough because of all the substance abuse. But before that, fairly attractive female.
Now, I completely agree with number 4. Number 4, I'm completely down for. This is Britney Spears. I never got it. I never understood what the appeal was. I never understood the appeal of her singing career, nor the look, nor any of it. It's just crazily weird, and maybe she's been abused physically by herself.
Maybe, but you know what? I can't have Britney Spears sitting here and not have Taylor Swift next to her.
They didn't go there. I guess they figured Taylor Swift has still got it together. But number 5 on the list, it doesn't matter that she's 80 years old. Number 5, Madonna, has made every single list.
Sure.
She's obviously, 75 years old, but nevertheless, she's playing the game. It's not like she's at home in a nursing home or something. She's going out there in a bra and panties, performing, Eric. I mean, she's bringing it on herself.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. I have no problem with that choice.
Okay.
Either.
All right. Okay. Well, you both agree on the Amy Winehouse one then.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it just seems crazy. I mean, you know what? I'll swap Taylor Swift in for Amy Winehouse.
All right. I could just as easily vote for that. Absolutely. I was a big Amy Winehouse fan, so I can completely agree with that.
I mean, very, very talented musician. But while we're talking about divas, I don't know if you had seen this. Lately, I don't know what went down, but Jasmine Crockett is getting some heat.
Oh
K-Mac,
my.
what was the most diva behavior you witnessed when you were serving, or just ferociously rude to the staff type behavior?
Well, I watched. There were a couple members. Some have passed away now. The exact same thing where the staff had to sit outside the apartment with the car running, and it was just 2 blocks away where I'd walk from my apartment to the Capitol. They would literally get to be able to walk onto the airplane, carry the suitcase, and put it up. And this one member, she was from Texas as well, and she was a Democrat woman, and she got
Oh, he's talking about Barbara
just because
Jordan.
She wanted to make another phone call. They closed the door. She was pounding on it, and the pilot literally took her purse because it was on the plane, put it out the window, and dropped it. She
Wow,
got banned
that's
from flying
great.
that airline ever again.
Wow.
Was it Sheila Jackson Lee?
I think you know who we're talking about.
Oh my God, she was harsh. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. But so we had the same room. It's any black woman executive politician, any of them. We had the same thing with Kamala Harris. Remember, her staff said we couldn't take it anymore. It seems to be a regular event.
Yeah,
They're completely brutal to other human beings.
That's true. Well,
Yeah.
There are people who are brutal back to them, and you sent me this, but it is pretty funny. WNBA is having problems with.
Eric, this is so cold. I mean,
I don't know. It's just it's an interview with the coach. He's very upset about the situation.
they keep throwing these dildos onto the court. I think they found some. Is what started this story. Somebody found it in their in the locker room or something, or I don't know what started it, but it seems to be they're tucking them onto the court now,
which is an expensive item to throw. But anyway,
know what the object is, and I just want to comment on this has been going on for centuries.
Centuries.
The sexualization of women. This is the latest version of that, and it's not funny.
No,
should not be the
no, it's not funny at
radio
all.
shows, or in print, or in any comments. The sexualization of women is what's used to hold women down.
Yeah.
And this is no different. This is just its latest form.
Okay.
You should write.
It's a women's basketball league with women playing women followed by women. So I don't know who's holding who down here in this.
Well, I don't know, but you know what?
Supplied money by the Chinese Communist Party, by the way, through the NBA.
Well, there was a sign though before the game started that there could be a problem. As they approach.
Oh my God! Look at it's like the bat signal. Oh my God! Yeah, they're chucking them on the court now, like an octopus in the NHL. I don't know what prompted this. I vaguely remember them finding some in the locker room or whatever the deal is, but holy crap!
But speaking of items that are offensive, this one. This is surprising how close it is. It is a teapot. Okay. And they showed this teapot on a billboard. As JCPenney, they had this very stylish new teapot, and they put it on a billboard. And they've had to take it down.
Oh boy.
Take a look at that.
Wow. That is like a Rorschach test of what you see with one of those silhouette.
But it really does look like it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Holy cow. I was watching an episode of Curb last night, and this German Shepherd is growling at Larry David, just going to rip him apart. And Larry David, just out of desperation, all of a sudden says Sig Heil and puts a salute up, and the dog rolls over onto its side and becomes like a pussy cat.
Oh, that is funny.
Very funny.
Wow. All right. A couple days ago, apparently it was the oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me. I've got a CAPTCHA I gotta deal with. I hate CAPTCHA codes.
We've got a guy. I don't know if you saw this video. This guy's stealing everybody's mail in Studio City. He comes on a scooter and has the master key to the post office boxes, and they will vigilantes have now grouped together, and they caught the guy in this. They videotaped him as they were bear spraying him at the same time. Very interesting.
The mailbox. I can't show it because of the violence on YouTube, but yeah, very handy way to.
Yeah.
Oh, you like getting in mailboxes, huh,
Yeah.
buddy?
Yeah.
And he's being a smartass too. That's what I love about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
He was kind of like, yeah, and it's like, psh, and he's like,
Yeah, it was a
"Whoa, whoa."
pretty good attack on him by these people who just the residents who are tired of having their mail stolen. I mean, the guy's on camera. The police, his car is outside. He uses a scooter to go from building to building while he parks his car. They have his car now, and they still can't find the guy. It's ridiculous. They have his car, with his license plate, his Jeep.
It's not like they want to find him, dude. It's not like they want to find him. All right, we should probably acknowledge that the anniversary of his death is a couple days ago. You sent me this.
Well, no, it's not the anniversary of his death. His anniversary of his death was June 6th in 1968. So this is a story about a guy who's coming out with a new book. So the LA Times is helping this guy sell his non-conspiratorial book. There's a guy named Mel Ayton, and who is the biggest. Mel Ayton is Gerald Posner of the RFK conspiracy community, along with Dan Moldea, who are the two sources for the article. It's an absurd article. Oh, go back. There's, if you see, go back. There's the tie of Thane Eugene Caesar that RFK pulled off. Wait, just go back to the top.
No, I can't leave it there. It's YouTube. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Because of just trust me.
YouTube Anyway, I don't know what that's about, but there's a tie in that photo that RFK pulled off of Thane Eugene Caesar's neck as he was spinning down in his death spiral. Thane Eugene Caesar later comes back and reclaims his own clip-on tie, which is in that photo. But anyway, this article is to support the release of a non-conspiracy book. And the LA Times felt it was necessary to do a massive article about it. Again, it was the equivalent of Gerard Posner's case closed. Both Mel Ayton, who is the leading Gerard Posner in this region, literary region, and of course Dan Moldea, the former mob author who became the godfather to the children of Thane Eugene Caesar and became his agent broker for interviews that were never allowed to happen anyway, including RFK Jr., who at some point was attempted to be shaken down for $25,000 by Moldea to interview Thane Eugene Caesar, and that never would have happened. They just kept raising the price on RFK Jr. until he finally gave up. But anyway, the LA Times felt it necessary to write this massive piece, also because the RFK documents were released by Tulsi Gabbard. They tie that into it, Eric.
Okay, well, I'm not completely surprised about that. Yeah. All right, well, another thing happened. Here's something we never saw coming, and that is Big Balls. Remember Big Balls?
Yeah, what happened to Big Balls?
Well, okay, there's actually two stories, but Big Balls apparently got into a scuffle with 10 juveniles, and I think he was trying to protect some women.
Yeah,
he got beaten down very severely, and Trump posted a picture of it. And because of this has inspired Trump to essentially, he's federalizing law enforcement. He's saying, we got to get federal troops.
You and I have discussed this before too. We have discussed this. We discussed it in crime-ridden areas of bringing in the military. He's doing it in D.C.
And guess what? Guess who's not complaining? Nobody's complaining. They were talking about it on two-way this morning, and they were all saying that, all the Democrats, all the left-wing people are like, oh, thank God, because it's so unsafe in D.C. that you have these neighborhoods with a multi-million-dollar condo, and they all know somebody who's been mugged or harmed, or they themselves have had something stolen or mugged. So it's hilarious because, they said, quietly, this is Dan, the Democrat, said, yeah, they're all celebrating and cheering it quietly.
Well, right, I don't think it's a coincidence that the chief of police of D.C. was removed today from office, and he was caught altering the felony statistics to lower it crime in the D.C. area by 24.5% last year alone. This has been done in Atlanta. I believe it's being done here in L.A., and he was caught doing it. He didn't come up with it. I'm sure Bowser, or whatever her name is, the mayor, directed him. And it was close to a 25% reduction in felonies after he statistically altered the crime statistics in Washington, D.C., Eric. And it's reason number 10 million that I have said repeatedly. I don't believe mayors should be allowed to choose their chief of police. And this is another reason why I believe there should be no connection between the chief of police and the mayor. They seem to do this over and over and over again, Eric.
Well, I've talked to Dr. Mike Wood about that before, and everything. He said that crime has to be recorded or it doesn't happen. And that's, literally if somebody steals your laptop and the cops don't write a report, it never happened. It never existed.
Right. Yeah, that's one
why you have to
aspect
go
of
with the homicide rates, because it's much harder to cover that body was found murdered at that time.
Well, that's it. That's if somebody goes into a morgue and counts every body and compares it to the statistics. But nobody's ever done that. But theoretically, you're correct, of course. The fact of the matter is that the reduction from felony to misdemeanor is what most of them do. From aggravated felony down to a misdemeanor or assault charge, whatever it is. Homicide becomes negligent homicide. Murder, first degree murder becomes third degree. This is their game. And this is why political people should not be allowed to have an entire military force with a chief of police at their disposal. It's insane. It's got to end.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Somebody suggested Apollo 13 for a movie this weekend.
Oh, it's always a good one. I mean, I don't know why this weekend, but
I don't know. Is it an anniversary of that? I don't keep track of that. What dates or what?
Well, look, we got to put the nuclear. We have to put the nuclear power on the moon. I saw what's his name, Duffy, talking about it. He was on with Affinity or one of the other guys talking about putting the nuclear reactor on the moon. How we've got to, he says it wasn't his idea. He says this is another one where Trump is thinking outside the box. He's making it into his space race. He's determined to do this by 2030. Having a fully functional nuclear reactor, simply because there's ice and there's no power up there, no way to get power. This would be a great idea, Eric.
Jim Lovell died today, so he was one of the astronauts with Apollo 13. That's why. Well, I'm just saying that's why people are suggesting it. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So I mean, he'll be missed. All right. Yeah, I guess. I don't see it being.
Are you
harmful.
for nuclear power plants on the moon?
If there's a use, if there's a need, I never thought about it. It's
either have I. That's what I'm saying. He's thinking outside the box. Never crossed my mind in a million years.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they're planning to ultimately,
Oh, it's the power of biosphere. They're going to power a society there.
I guess, but I kind of feel like Mars is a better choice in that regard.
The moon's pretty close. Musk says you got to go to the moon first to launch to Mars.
And it could technically be a good training ground or whatever to, go to Mars. I don't know.
Well, that's what Musk says. You go to the moon and then you shoot from there. You got to stop off somewhere. And what Musk has said is the moon, and then you relaunch again from the moon. So this would be the beginnings of an entire society on the moon, Eric.
Yeah, it could be.
With power, with a biosphere, with Pauly Shore obviously would be in charge.
Probably some giant ass lasers. We could have Star Wars after all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he said, Duffy said, if we don't do it, the Chinese are going to do it. So it's a space race.
Will.
I still believe we own the moon.
You can tell yourself
that. Okay. I think you're going to believe it when Trump comes out shortly in the next number of months and says we own the moon.
Oh, he can say what he wants.
That's good enough for me.
There and put another thing there.
And he's going to register the moon in his private property department. He's going to make the moon the 51st state. Watch this.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. All right. You shared this paid protester thing with me.
I did. Oh,
Nate
this
Freeman.
guy. Listen, I love this guy, Nate Freeman. This kid in New York is killing it, man. He's just like coming up with all kinds of stuff in New York.
Well, here, let's see what's happening.
Muhammad. Hey man, how you been, buddy? Hey. Good to see you.
Oh, you take me last time interview,
Yeah.
right?
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Don't twist it.
In about 0.5 seconds, this woman comes over to stop the interview and warn him that they're about to march soon. Her name is Veronica, and she's new to the professional protester game. Right now, she's doing ads with the PSL, the same group that organized protest a day after October 7th and openly supports North Korea. By doing this ad with them, you are promoting their 10-point program that features a call to abolish deportation and seize the banks. The DC embassy shooter was affiliated with PSL and attended their protests and meetings at their Chicago branch. Now, the PSL supports Hamas, and they're funded by the People's Forum, which is funded by Roy Neville Singham. Now, Veronica, I read some of your work. You want to abolish police and prisons. Quote, I'm near certain most people advocating for police abolition know that it implies prison abolition, and this is something that's really exciting to see. I would say you need help, but that kind of talk is winning you awards, it would seem. You won the philosophy and religion undergraduate essay at Northeastern for your paper on Palestinian hunger strikes. Congrats. You came from Canada and you got recruited to turn America into a socialist country. Now, when people say that colleges are brainwashing our youth, this is what they mean.
Wow. Well,
yeah, no, he's good, Friedman. He's really good. I've reached out to him to try to get him on the show. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let me know. And then this is kind of in the same line, and it's the Gaza production team.
Oh, this is great. This is Academy Award stuff.
All right. So we have Gazawood here. Obviously, on the left, it's the poor people. They're starving. They're crying. We need food. We need food. Oh my God, things are happening. But on the right, I guess
this is rehearsal.
We get to see them traveling.
That's the rehearsal on the right.
To the location.
Yeah.
I can't listen to that. Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry if that disappointed people who thought that these children were dying of hunger. But Marco Rubio summed it up really good yesterday, calling out France, Canada, and the UK for their calls to create a Palestinian state. They've since rescinded it. But once their call was put out, and this was obviously coordinated, Hamas cut off negotiations with the U.S. and Israel to release the hostages because of Macron's short-lived call for a Palestinian state. As I said last week, the video that they put out of the emaciated hostage digging his own grave went on the Hamas greatest hits list and even forced Macron and Starmer and this cat up in Canada to rescind their support for a two-state solution by September. But what Rubio said today was this original call for a Palestinian state led by Hamas immediately caused Hamas to break off negotiations because they figured it was in the bag.
Yeah, I'm going to revisit one thing. Rubio's been a big surprise, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I am totally shocked.
I mean, yeah, the guy has like 5 jobs, too.
They all have 5 jobs. This guy, Duffy, is the head of NASA and transportation secretary.
Oh, well, hold on. Scott Bessent is now the IRS commissioner.
I didn't know that. That's great.
No, it happened today. So.
Well, I think that the wrestling wife will become something else.
Well, I hope so. I mean, come on, think about it.
Gets rid of the Department of Education.
Can you imagine that? This is your gig. You have to get congressionally confirmed to run a cabinet that you're going to take out. I mean, that's kind of a suck job in a way. It's like your job is to finish your thing, your organization.
Karen Bass has been crowing for the past 2 weeks that she got ICE and the Border Security out of L.A., so they responded with the associate prosecutor for the Justice Department and DHS yesterday with border security by running Operation Trojan Horse, Eric. Just when she thought that she was done with them and was crowing and celebrating that the Marines had left, they ran Operation Trojan Horse at Home Depots here in LA. And Operation Trojan Horse involved them renting huge Penske yellow trucks. And inside were the following people. If there's a little video clip, it could speak for itself. Here's some. Go ahead, show this. This is cool. Here we are. Surprise.
La Migra. Nice.
This absolutely breathtaking operation. They were lured to the Penske truck because that's where they get work. And it was filled with these people who, Border Patrol and DHS, who rounded up quickly 16 and more of illegal aliens and have them in custody now. This is just getting, there was a nurse who was coming home from work, a Latina American nurse, American, and she said the emergency rooms are completely empty where she works at the hospital now.
Well,
completely empty.
How much money is being saved?
It's insane. It's insane.
I mean, wow. Well, I don't want to leave the whole Hamas subject yet because we had our guy, our Columbia student, our hero that's suing for $20 million.
Oh, boy.
Well, apparently, this guy, he decided to have an interview with Ezra Klein, and he said the quiet parts out loud.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I think that they've lost massive support.
Well, I hope they've lost massive support in the MAGA sliver who are supporting them, despite Trump and the work that Trump's doing to deal with this. There's people on the left and the people on the right, politically, on both sides of the American political spectrum, who've been supporting Hamas. Some directly, some indirectly. But nevertheless, I think the moral high ground is starting to shift, Eric, and you could feel it politically in the air, that people are rational in this country and they know what a massacre is. They know who the bad guys are. It's one thing about Americans. They know the good guys and the bad guys. And that is why we had Westerns our entire lives growing up. That's why our movies and our political the movies that we've seen and the storybooks that we've read have been delineated so much into good guys and bad guys, black hats and white hats. It is so embedded in the American culture. And I don't mean that they propagandize this. It is just a part of the American psyche going back to the Old West. And they know that the Hamas are the bad guys in this situation. No matter how much bullshit they have shoveled onto this storyline, the American people see through bad guys and good guys. They really do. It's an amazing character trait that the Americans have.
That's true. By the way, I think I said Ethan Klein. It's Ezra Klein.
Ezra. Yeah, Ezra.
Sorry,
Klein.
Ethan Klein is H3H3 podcast and another guy.
I have no idea who that is, but Ezra Klein we do know.
Well, okay. Well, Ethan Klein, there's actually a good story about him that is pretty funny. He's got a lawsuit going right now with Hassan Piker. Now, I don't know if you know Hassan Piker. That's Cenk's.
Or either one of these guys.
Okay, we've heard of Cenk Uyghur of the Young Turks, right? Hassan is his nephew, and he's fondly known
that
as
guy. You
Cenk's
talked
nephew.
about him before.
Oh yeah, he's like major Hamas loving, just anti-American, top Twitch streamer in the world for a while.
Wasn't he like the level of Mr. Beast?
No.
Oh,
not even close.
Nobody's the level of Mr. Beast.
No, I'm just saying no. He's not. But he is, millions of dollars a year, doing very well for himself.
Okay.
Anyway, he's been in a battle with Ethan Klein because they did a show together, and these other streamers were deliberately taking Ethan Klein's stuff and mocking him or whatever. So Ethan Klein released a video saying essentially he was putting the goods out on Hassan Piker, and sure as shit, they all started to stream it. And he set it up as a trap. He even had...
Oh, that's weird.
He registered the copyright for the video with the U.S. Copyright Office so he could get the maximum damages possible. Knew they would stream it. And then they were bragging about, I hope you're enjoying this stream that we're taking the money out of Ethan Klein's pocket. And so he literally set them up hook, line, and sinker, and they're all crowdfunding. And he's being hilarious about it too. He's like, please give them lots of money so I can get paid. Thank you very much.
Speaking of lots of money, Trump is demanding $1 billion out of UCLA to restore their funding for their anti-Semitic attacks on LA students who are of the Jewish faith. And this guy who's running for president, Gavin Newsome, said he will resign before he allows UCLA to pay this fine to the federal government. This is a crazy stance by Newsome, since Brown and Harvard and the other schools have already paid. Now they've turned their turrets. This is Harmeet Dillon in the Civil Rights Division to UCLA here, that were one of the most egregious anti-Semitic, physically anti-Semitic universities in the country. Newsome has thrown down a gauntlet saying he will resign if UCLA pays this fine to the federal government, Eric.
I'm not surprised at all, because Newsome has gotten traction of late by being the number one anti-Trump guy with the whole ICE deal. And this just goes right along that line. It's putting him on the map for the Democrats and getting them, some juice for the primary. And besides,
I don't even mind.
If he did resign, he's going to get mileage out of it because he's just got more time.
The longer this goes on, they announced the layoffs yesterday, UCLA, hundreds and hundreds of executives. Keep it going. I don't care when they settle this thing. I hope they bury him. They've already laid off 343 different executives to pay for the budget shortfalls at UCLA that Trump has clobbered them with. They will cry uncle, of course, and then they could have Newsome come in and they could tell Newsome to go away simply so they could settle this with Trump. That'll be fun when UCLA tells Newsome to stop bothering us.
Yeah, I'm good with that. But he's going to get mileage out of it, sadly.
I don't know what kind of mileage he's going to get, because Harvard and the others have already settled. All the major universities have settled with Trump.
Right, which makes him the only guy standing tall. I'm just saying. You can read the.
Let me ask something. How does the United States Postal Service, and this is maybe you have the answer to this, lose $3.1 billion in a fiscal quarter, Eric, and expect us to continue to have this not be privatized, Eric? I mean, I don't understand what is the magic of the United States Postal Service. They have voted 98% against Trump. They are a heavily unionized DC operation, may have been or may not have been involved in the mail-in ballot fraud, and now are losing $3 billion a quarter. I mean, why would we keep this going?
I can tell you right now, because it's subsidizing the service. So, as an example, if I need to mail something, which I've done, okay, you can mail something with UPS and you're looking at $15 to $20 every time I go in. I can take a cheap mailing and go at like half the price, $6 to $10.
So you're saying you want a socialist mail service to offset?
No, I'm saying that's how they're losing money, is because they're not actually
losing. I know they're losing it, but why should we keep going? Why don't you just privatize it?
I'd be okay with that.
Okay. That's right. I figured you'd say that.
Yeah, or
I agree with you.
Or eliminate it. The thing is that there was a time it needed to be propped up because it was the only game in town. We wanted to have a consistent system. But right now, the interesting part about USPS is there is nothing, no other letter delivery service or anything like that.
What I'm saying is, why can't we just privatize and keep the whole system intact, and just privatize it?
I don't know. I mean,
I think Trump's going to do it. That's why Trump's going to do it. That's why these numbers came out today. They're devastating numbers. Devastating.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, when you were talking,
it's been that way for a while.
I had no idea. These are record-breaking numbers now. If you scroll down a little bit, okay. The numbers.
Down.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw this morning. Hold on. Postal Service incurred a net loss of $3.1 billion,
which is down 6% from the second quarter, up from 24 that it's been losing every year it's like Amtrak.
Yeah.
Very similar. Amtrak is, a big money hole or money pit. Now, there's an interesting factor about Amtrak, though. You know that the commercial part of Amtrak was privatized and they're profitable?
Yeah.
Interestingly enough. So they split it. I forgot the name of the railroad.
Maybe they should do that with this. Do that. Let FedEx take over half of this.
Or UPS, which is already a union shop.
The reason I'm mentioning it's not just the loss of money; it's a political operation that has been politicized and given superpowers by the Democratic Party, and that's one of the reasons that it's got to go.
Right. Well, and the other issue with it too is the union in there is extremely strong, and you would have to shape up the labor issues within the Postal Service as well. Because it's subsidized on providing the service, but it's also very, very profitable for some people who have been entrenched in there for a while.
I'd give them 48 hours to end their union membership or lose their jobs. Now, what about Ed Martin? We were talking about this before the show, Eric.
Well, Ed Martin, if I recall, was the individual who was going to take over the Washington, D.C. district and for January 6th or whatever, because we supported people on that, got thrown away, and Janine Pirro took his spot. So I guess
she's landing on confirmed. By the way, I think she
has been confirmed last weekend.
Right? Yeah.
But I think that he's landed on his feet. He's got a new gig. You were telling me about it.
Yeah, he's the new special prosecutor appointed by Pam Bondi this morning to go after specifically the mortgage fraud of both Adam Schiff and Letitia James. So this is a very narrow assignment on the part of Ed Martin. It's specifically about the two mortgage fraud cases for the two of them.
But that's not all with Letitia James.
I think there's other things. She's been
subpoenaed by the Justice Department as well.
Right. I think this is separate from Ed Martin, but I could be wrong. But this is true too.
Okay, well, I'm just saying we got her coming up, so we might as well talk about these.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the grand jury investigation into her for the Trump civil case.
Right. I don't know if that goes under his purview, but it doesn't really matter because it's such great news.
Yeah, I mean, these are. I feel a little bit better. I will hold to it. I have said it takes time for grand juries and things to roll out. So.
Well, you got the Miami grand jury, which is for Russiagate, and now you got a second grand jury looking into Letitia James. I mean, I think Fannie Willis might be next, Eric.
One can hope, but we will see. Back to a little pop culture. I don't know if you saw this. Kristi Noem is the latest target of South Park and pretty much everybody around Trump. To Kristi's credit, though, I saw she used the South Park image as her profile.
That's funny.
I'm like, and that's a great way to handle it. If you're getting trashed by it, why not use it? Now,
I think there's a love triangle depicted between Trump, her, and Satan.
I wouldn't doubt it. And Corey Lewandowski.
Oh, I didn't know. Is he in the cartoon too?
No. I don't know if he's in the cartoon, but from what I've been told, he's in with her.
I know, but not in South Park, though, right?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the episode, so I don't know. I'm sure that the audience can let us know. I don't know if you saw this. We've talked about streaming services, from time to time here. Hulu is going to be phased out and no more.
I told
Disney
you
owns Hulu, and they're going to roll it into Disney Plus.
Dude, none of these are survivable. They're all going to merge. They just keep lowering the subscription rate. If you want to save some money, people in America, cancel your membership. They'll come back at you at 50% discount. Just cancel it. Do it twice. You'll be down to $2.99.
That's right. You know what that reminds me of? Now that you mention it, it's a good callback to an earlier story. Anybody get stuck with a Sirius satellite membership? Because it's the hardest thing to get rid of.
Okay.
They will call you, they will discount you, they will do everything possible.
Yeah, they're the model.
Keep you. And it's famous because you have to literally tell them, no, Let me talk to your supervisor. No. Let me talk to that supervisor. No, 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 absolutely no. Hell no. We'll give it to you for free for a year. No, I just don't want it.
Yeah.
It's
not about the money. It's not about the money. They don't care about the actual revenue from that area. They have licenses with the intellectual property to show it X amount of times. They must fulfill the license of movies that they have like a 6-time usage of in a calendar year. There's all kinds of different contracts they have to fulfill. The last thing they want is you leaving that platform. They will lower it to $1.99 to keep you on as a streamer. Try it, folks. You'll see what I mean.
Well, I'm going to have to, because I mean,
okay, go get them, Hunley. Go get them.
Wow. Okay, we've got a couple articles in. It's, I guess we were just talking about what was in the news or whatever. We were ahead of the news, but Kratom is now like all over the place. So we've got this Wall Street Journal article, stronger than fentanyl.
Good timing.
A drug you've never heard of is killing hundreds every year.
I know all about Kratom.
I see. It's a highly potent synthetic opioids called nitazines.
I don't know what you're referring to up there. The drug within it you're talking about?
Well, okay. You know what? This is something even more different. This apparently these are reformulations.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what the Chinese are doing. Chinese scientists are reformulating every time the DEA catches up with one of these things, or the National Crime Agency, or whatever that is there. They alter the stuff by a couple of molecules and come up with a new thing in the opiate category.
Yeah, they're saying these are even more powerful than
they're always more powerful. That's why I was talking about 7-Ohm last week, which many people have reported back to me. I have a lot of connections in the drug world, rehab and users, both, being a drug counselor out here. So they do call me saying they're in trouble or they're hearing this or that. It's both. People call me addicted to stuff, looking for help. And also people in the rehab community call me and tell me what the latest thing is, that's killing people. And then this popped up. So.
Right. This is the Kratom.
Yeah, I mean, an ex-girlfriend who overdosed on Kratom, drowned in her bathtub a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was when we first met. Or I remember.
Right, it was like 3 years ago.
I think it was 2021. About when we were doing the show. It was when you were representing Sirhan. Around that same time, I think.
Right.
But
yeah, that was from Kratom. I mean, she nodded out in her bathtub and drowned.
Wow.
It's real, people. I mean, it affects real lives. People make jokes about it, but it's a real thing. Well,
and the fact that it's universally available on the gas stations and stuff.
Yeah.
That's troubling.
It's unregulated because nobody's calling the DEA and making an announcement about it. The people buying it, who are the buyers of these head shops and vape shops and tobacco shops and gas stations, do not contact the DEA saying, should we purchase this?
Wow. Oh my God. And then that leads to yet another article about a substance here. Addictive natural drink Feel Free is hooking young people with horrible consequences with skin flying off.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's
not good.
Are you kidding? Oh, yeah, I've seen these lately. Alternatives to alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and there's podcasters that are hawking them now.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And I've wondered about them because I'm like, is this really a good thing or a bad thing? Or, it's...
In Russia, they have a synthetic heroin called Crocodile, which is like their backroom concoction that they make with a bunch of chemicals in a pail and shoot up. And it has a flesh-eating side effect that will eat your arms and legs. Ironically,
and it's called Crocodile. They actually named it after something that would eat you.
Okay, I don't know if that's the reason. I believe it may be because of the National Lampoon of Russia, which is a magazine called Crocodile. I believe there might be more of a connection to that.
Wow, but it's crazy.
The National Lampoon of the Soviet Union was called Crocodile.
Okay.
Just an odd tidbit piece of information there.
Very odd. And I guess it's spelled K-R-O-K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. All right. I don't know if you saw this earlier. Very interesting. We had a jobs report problem, and people were going, "Oh, Trump just didn't like the news, so he fired, the labor person." But
is that true? You think he just didn't like the news, or maybe?
Well, I don't know. Here's what this guy's saying.
Okay,
this is an economist, Stephen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Judge. Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before. And I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the president that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. That's Mr. President, that's a gigantic error.
Wow.
And
it's not an error.
I don't know if she's, I'm not
Might not have been an error. That's
Thank you.
If
Thank
it's
you.
an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error.
You may well be right, but even if it wasn't purposefully, it's incompetence.
Right. Yes, Judge.
I just wanted, to
that's great.
address that. So apparently, these numbers have been propped up to try to help bail out or save Biden and Kamala.
Yep.
Over time. And
well, they were later reversed, as you were aware. Months later, they would reverse and put him back to normal.
Oh, apparently there was even more to reverse. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, but obviously everybody's trying to prop things up. Like I think you sent me this. Biden's Politburo aide Bruce Reed.
I just like that they call it the Politburo. That's my favorite part of this thing, that they themselves called it a Politburo. How about that, Hunley?
Hey, it's they got so drunk with power
yeah,
that they just didn't even bother.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, this guy stuck with the stutter thing. He didn't buckle. He was under questioning for hours behind closed doors. And he refused. This is Bruce Reed, who was, I think, deputy chief of staff under Biden. This mutt, he apparently wouldn't buckle and just kept saying it was his stutter. That's why his mouth was agape, staring out into space for minutes at a time because of a stutter.
Yeah, well, I've heard. You know what? That's a perfect example. I did not even know that Biden had a stutter until last year after the debate. And I'm like, well, gee, that stutter hasn't really affected him prior. Well, what are you talking about? And you can go all the way back to the 80s with him lying through his teeth about his academic record and all that. I don't hear a blip of a stutter.
They had nothing. They just pulled that out of their ass. They had nothing. They were desperate. They were desperate, Eric.
Yeah, and it's like
now the question is, what are the people who are going to testify before the Comer Oversight Committee, the people we mentioned last week? What are they going to say under oath, if anything? Because I believe that they're going to either take the fifth or executive privilege and then answer the questions of their Democratic allies. And regarding Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe that she will be pardoned once her testimony is rehearsed. And this is, it's politics on both sides of the coin. They're going to make her do a pro-Trump dance before she gets that pardon, and rightfully so, if you're going to do that. And she will come out and say nothing bad about Trump's relationship with Epstein and everything bad about Epstein's relationship to the Clintons. That's my prediction. In order to get her,
which is already coming out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, good.
Clinton Epstein bombshell. What Ghislaine Maxwell told Trump's DOJ about the ex-president and how it contradicts a denial he always made.
Right.
She essentially, from what I read,
she's
said
being
that they
rehearsed
were.
to do this.
She traveled with Bill Clinton.
Right.
And all of this. So
this pardon is going to come, and she is going to do a media dance. They're going to rehearse this for months.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're going to rehearse this, and she's going to come out and say, Trump had nothing to do with any of this, and Clinton had everything to do with this. And that's going to be, they're going to flip out on the left, but this is the dance they're going to pull off with her. And I'll tell you something, it's brilliant I again did not see this coming. The Trump administration, I believe, is meeting this week at Camp David with the vice president, him, and someone else, just to go over this strategy, Eric.
Well, I was going to point this out. Look, this is Chelsea's wedding.
Okay.
Delaine's in the picture. This is after the Epstein deal. This is after.
If you listen to Dershowitz, he makes a very strong case that she has been railroaded by the Comey family in the Southern District of New York, and she should be released, pardon or no pardon.
Yeah, I
Greg
agree.
Kelly,
I think that her case needs to go to the Supreme Court. I think
Greg Kelly has also made the same case as Dershowitz. Two people on the political opposite side of the spectrum, that she needs to be released, and she's been railroaded because of Epstein.
Well, I look at it more simply. The Epstein deal literally had the clause that she was immune, and the case, I think, has to go to the Supreme Court because it's bullshit that you could say, hey, oh, that was second district, we're fifth circuit, district or what. It's like, no,
ridiculous railroading.
One country. This is federal. You all report to the same Supreme Court. You all report to the same president. This is bullshit to sit there and make a statement like that. And the fact that they get away with it, no, that needs to be fixed.
Was very dark, but it was masterminded by Maureen Comey and her father. And I believe those three will be indicted, apparently. Brennan, Clapper, and Comey. The Three Stooges look like they're going to be indicted in that grand jury in Miami.
I'll be satisfied. That's a good,
so will I, bro. So will I.
I don't expect Obama to be, he'll be an unnamed co-conspirator probably, or uncharged, but if we only get the three, it's something. I'll take it. And go after Fauci next. Speaking of Fauci, this is
you were speaking of Fauci. Go on.
Well, I was with
Can
Leslie.
You say that
actually,
if somebody's speaking of them, and then you say speaking of that thing?
Well, I was speaking of him earlier with Leslie, but anyway.
Okay.
This is a brilliant move. Trump just ordered all vaccination records for COVID vaccine destroyed.
Really?
No, that's brilliant, because now you can't hold it against someone. You had people that were refusing to take the vaccinations. They lost their careers with the military and all of that. Well, how do you even things out to make sure that they can't be discriminated against one way or another?
I don't know.
You destroy the records.
Destruction of records kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know about people in the chat, but I understand what you're saying. Now, I don't particularly like the destruction of records as
I do if the records are of something that shouldn't have taken place. For example, if somebody gets convicted of something, I want their record cleaned and expunged.
Well, expungement and destruction of records are two different things. I mean, what are you saying? Is it expunging or destruction of records?
It's destruction of those who either did or did not take the vaccination, so that way they cannot be
I'm going to have to look into this. But I don't know if you followed this, but Trump has ordered a new census, Eric.
Yeah.
I think that's a big story.
What we opened with.
Oh,
that was the opening with the little kids.
Is that the subject of those little kids that he's ordering a new census?
Yes, because then that was going to lead to more seats in Texas. Up to 30 House seats could disappear.
Well, no, that was talking about redistricting. I'm talking about a new census.
But that's
two separate issues. No, but it's two separate things. The new census, he's making an executive order for a new census without illegal aliens being counted. That's a revolutionary idea that they're going to lose their shit over.
Well, he tried to do it when he was in last
time. I know, but now he's doing it.
He'd already started it.
Right.
Now, the only question is whether he's going to be able to do it while he's in office. I've never heard a rule saying that it has to take place on the 10-year mark.
Nope.
I mean, it has to do it by then. But who said? Yeah, but who said it can't be more frequent? Or he could be just setting the rules for the next census. I don't know.
No, I haven't done a deep dive on this, but my impression was he's moving up the timeline.
Yeah, well, that would be ideal. I mean,
well, they're going to find a federal judge to put a stop to this.
Of course they are.
By 6 o'clock tonight, probably.
Of course. I mean, but well, he's not going to be able to get it done by midterm, even if he does get it early. I think that's a little aggressive.
Right, a little aggressive. This whole thing is super aggressive.
But it's a great way to go at it.
In the redistricting, like he said, do you think that they would stop if we didn't do it? And of course, the answer is they're the ones who came up with it and been doing it in these. I mean, that district in Illinois that Colbert pointed out, I think Colbert trying to show that he's on both sides of the aisle, Colbert, all of a sudden, to put together some montage video of him being balanced, for his.
That'd be a short video.
Right, but he's going to put more and more of these out there for his resume. Showing that district that cuts through all these different black neighborhoods, essentially, to create a district, that would have blue completely through it. He's threatening to get rid of his own. In California, constitutionally, they created a non-political board to deal with redistricting, and he's threatening to disband the board, Newsome, so he can redistrict California. That's already been redistricted and gerrymandered so much that even though Republicans got 40% of the vote, a lot of people don't know this. In California, they got 9 seats out of that. In other words, it's gerrymandering that's killing the Republicans in California. In the presidential election, 40% of Californians voted Republican.
Right. Well, Massachusetts, they brought up. There is not a single Republican congressperson, I believe, in Massachusetts. I think Trump was talking about it, and I think they got 40% of Republicans in Massachusetts as well.
Right.
And his argument is that there should be approximately 40%. It's not representational of the actual voting, but it's
well, they're going to lose their shit if he can avoid counting illegals. That might be, according to Stephen Miller yesterday, that might be up to 20 to 30 House seats by itself.
It will be, but it's also Texas is going to lose a bunch of seats. Arizona will lose some seats. So it's not going to be just all positive for Republicans and all negative for Democrats. It's going to shift around a bit because there are illegals in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona. So we'll see how it works out. But the point is, it's the right thing to do, to try to say, okay, no, it's representational of actual citizens. That would be a good way to go. But yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I don't think anybody's ever thought about, we'll just run the census early.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Do it after 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. Or in this case, it's 5.
It's 5 years. Okay, yeah. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's
roll.
We're
halfway there. We'll round
Let's go. Let's get it going. Let's go, Hunley.
All right.
They do pay you like $30 an hour to do the census, by the way. To people,
I remember the census was.
Yeah.
Remember the census was the Obama jobs report.
Right. Yeah.
Remember how he was having problems in the midterms? It was like, look at this great jobs report. And it was like, right. Those are all census workers, you bastard.
Yep.
We know what you're doing.
Yep.
Speaking of woke politics, you sent me this earlier, and it's sad and it's disturbing because apparently in Oregon they had a program when they were having the wildfires, and I think California might do it too, but prisoners would go out and be supplemental firefighters and help
for years
and help, with the fires.
Yeah.
And because of that, they could get rewarded for their sentence. Mm-hmm. However, in this case, it definitely backfired.
Oh boy.
This guy, Jesse Calhoun, this handsome fellow here, when he got released from prison, I think it was in 2021, after helping with the fires and everything, decided that was a good license to go kill 4 women.
Yeah.
So, 5 women. Sorry. So essentially, he got released.
Well, it doesn't matter why he got out. The fact is they let him out. The fires are not fires, because there's a lot of guys who want to put out fires. They do pay you like $1 a day, or they wanted to pay him more or something. But and they do have a leg up when they get out of prison to a point. Right. No, I'm saying I agree with it. When they get out, they have a leg up to try to get a job fighting fires in wherever they live. Goes on your record that you did this. And so that's helpful. but this guy shouldn't have been let out regardless of the firefighting or not.
Yeah, but you see that it kind of does fall apart a little bit in itself, because he was released 1 year before his projected release date. So July 22nd, 2021. So he's supposed to be out July 22nd,
He still would have done it, right? He still would have.
Right. And all of these murders actually took place after his original release date. So
yeah, he would have done it anyway.
I don't know if it, look, I don't care for the Democrat or woke governor, but I don't know if that's completely fair.
Depends on the length of his original sentence. I don't know what he did to get in there.
I don't know what he did. It could have been.
Maybe it was a very short sentence. He should have been in there for 50 years, Eric.
All this could be true, but if he got it shaved,
I don't know the original crime, so I can't really judge. What's.
Yeah, I agree.
What if he had a 6 month or a 3-year sentence for murder?
Then that's
which
is that the governor's fault, or anyway? So that's I don't know. We are talking about Portland and Oregon, which is not known as a right-wing bastion state and a hard law and order area. But what I do want to have is let's visit some super chats.
Okay, you knock yourself out.
Pamela Clifton saying, "Happy Friday, guys. Yes, I love the baby videos of famous people like President Trump. Those are fun and kind of silly on occasion. Oh, look who's back. Dick Dickerson gifted 20 America's Untold Stories memberships. Thank you very much, Dick. Really happy to have you and see you. I'm not your buddy guy with Canadian $20 saying, meanwhile, in Canada, we're going authoritarian. One of our premiers, which is like a governor, declared it illegal to camp, fish, hunt, or hike, or any other activities in the woods.
What the hell are you supposed to do in the woods?
We in Alberta separate from Canada. We were talking about it earlier in the law show.
What are you supposed to do there?
Well, supposedly they shut it down because of fire risk. That instead of saying no smoking and no fires, they just said no people.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But there could, there are times here when you're not. I've gone camping many times where, in various places in the Southwest and in the West, where, depending on weather conditions, they stop you from having a fire, but you're still camping.
Which I'm fine with that. I understand that. I think that's reasonable. I don't like the idea of just saying, you know what, no people. If you can't have, if there's no people, there's no fire. That's their. Oh, and Dick Dickerson, good point. What Howard did to Dana Plato was just horrible. Remember when?
Yeah, no, I know. I remember.
Went on there?
Well, I don't want to. You're talking about self-deletion. You got to watch it, Hunley. You really got to watch it.
What do you mean? What? Okay. Let's see. Dick Dickerson again. The best of Stern is when Artie and Gilbert would interrupt Robin's news segment.
That's funny. That was funny. But Artie was a poor man's. Artie kind of wore out his welcome after a while.
Well, he's a gentleman who has drug issues.
Yeah. It became too much for Artie. But Gilbert, just absolutely genius on Stern.
And by the way, the whole thing with Artie was the guy has, I don't know if he's got it fixed yet, but he has no nose. His nose literally is like completely flat to his head. It was shocking to see. And he's out there pumping gas, doing whatever. I'm like, holy cow. Wow. I've read things or heard rumors that there are people who do so much cocaine that they burn their nose out. I've actually seen it in reality, and Artie Lang is the poster child for I'm guessing too much cocaine. Tank Mosey H gifted, or Tink Mosey, 10K Mosey, I don't know what it is, gifted 5 America's Untold Stories memberships, which I do appreciate. This is one time, I don't know what it is, Tink, 10K, what capitalized in the middle. It might help out. But thank you very much.
Oh, don't forget that Artie replaced Jackie. So,
yeah. Well, Artie got treated like shit too for a while, but then he kind of got it back through his antics, I guess.
We're going to cover that in 2 weeks on What's Up with Lord Buckley when Jackie comes on.
Did Jackie work with Artie, or
no? Artie replaced him. Okay, Jackie got fired, and Artie replaced Jackie.
Okay. K-Dog. Please reassure me there is no possible path that leads to AOC being elected president.
I don't
can't
think
see
there is.
that.
Hunley believes there is. I don't really see it.
I think that she has a path to being the Democratic nominee. I hope she doesn't win the whole
I don't
thing
even
out.
see that, but Eric sees it, so it's probably optional. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? We don't know who they'll pick, but there's a couple. I mean, you could say the same thing about Crockett too, right?
I find it interesting. That wasn't the only thing I saw about Jasmine Crockett. All of her staff is starting to come out and go after her, and they represent her as just a piece of garbage who never leaves her apartment, doesn't go to her office, doesn't do anything. So
didn't Pocahontas run before?
Yes.
Maybe she'll run again. She might
well,
run again.
Pocahontas, I think, did slightly better than
than Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Kamala was like the first one off the train. I mean,
Elizabeth Warren may throw a hat in or throw her feather into the ring.
Well, yeah, and you've got all the also rans. Spartacus, I'm sure he'll
Pete Buttigieg. What about Pete Buttigieg?
Well, they talk about him all the time as being politically talented, and Spicer puts it's like short and gay. It's not going to happen.
I think Beto O'Rourke may be indicted this week for aiding and abetting.
Yeah, well, some Paxton is going after him.
Well, the FBI, Kash Patel said he will help arrest these Texas legislators. The FBI, Eric.
I'm okay with that.
The FBI. A Quinn Martin production.
I think it's great. Go ahead, do it. And then arrest Pritzker too while you're at it for harboring them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Schaefer. Conservatives really need Democrats to fill the void they've created, or we'll end up with a bunch of Mamdani.
It's an interesting take, Mike. That's not a bad take because if you don't support moderate Democrats, you're going to just have Mandami Democrats.
Right. That's why I'm kind of cheering for Cuomo. It's like far better choice.
Well, in that particular race, there's three men splitting up the other half of the vote. He's got 50%, Mandami. So unless two of them bail, which they're not going to do, there's no race. It's just 17, 17, 17, and 50, Eric. So, I mean, it's just like, that's just whoever you pick. It's not, the math doesn't add up.
I thought he was maxed at 35, but
who?
Okay. Well, they were saying he was at 35, I think.
Who? Mandami?
Yeah.
He got 50% of the vote, I'm saying.
Of the Democrats, yes. But in the overall, from what I understood, he was polling at 35. And without him having the majority, that's why it's possible that they could, pull it over. He has plurality for sure.
Again, I'll say it again for the 100th time. He's the mayor of New York.
Well, and
I guess you could go down this road and reinvent history, but I've never seen it happen.
Right, but it has happened.
Mm-hmm.
You said it happened, what, 3 times? Or you said only 3 times?
I think it was 2 times in mayoral history. And I'm not talking about a Republican winning. I'm talking about a guy winning the
primary and losing the...
Yeah. But look, I mean, Sliwa would be a good choice. And between Cuomo and Sliwa, I would rather see Sliwa. He's not a murderer.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the ideal choice, but I'll take Cuomo over Zandani any day of the week. I'll take Eric Adams over him.
He's low. He's at like 7%.
Yeah.
He's like the last man standing.
Yeah. Apparently,
people have had it with him. He's done.
Yeah, he's making gestures. He's probably going to kiss Mandami's ass and endorse him.
He will. Somebody's endorsing somebody.
I don't know. All right. This is from Sarcastic Pit Bull. Hey, Mark, can you share your valued opinion on these political comedians? Mort Saul, Dick Gregory, Lenny Bruce, and George Carlin.
There's only 2. There's only 2 in there. That's Dick Gregory and Mort Saul. Lenny Bruce was not a political comedian. Neither was George Carlin, by his own admission. In fact, George Carlin said current events were trivia. He didn't even watch TV news and never got involved in anything political. Dick Gregory was in the middle of segregation and integration and civil rights movement, and Mort, of course, was like the original political comic. Lenny was not. I mean, Lenny was more of a social satirist, and Carlin was more of a joke machine and really like a walking dictionary and wordsmith.
Okay. Well, Carlin was what, observational comedian, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's where Seinfeld gets his style is a refined, and I mean really refined, version of George Carlin.
And who else is it? There was another one that was like that, out of New York. I forgot his name, but
well, I mean Robert Klein was one.
Klein, that's it. Klein was
that's what you're saying. Yeah, Robert Klein for sure.
Yeah, I think he influenced Seinfeld quite a lot. As well.
They both did. I mean, Jerry even says it.
All right, Mike Schaefer says, Eric, chat shows momentum for your new cooking show. When does it start? What? Mike Schaefer just throws some things in there.
Hey, you know what happens
when
he gets into the hashish late on Friday or into the weekend, the black opiated hash, which has like the white, it's a black hash that's soft and mushy out of Morocco. Schaefer can go crazy. Schaefer can go off the rails.
It appears so. Wow. Yeah. Insane. And then Pamela Clifton's a new member too now. Thank you, Pamela.
I thought she was a member.
Maybe it slipped, or you know how that goes. That these things, so you don't get reminders. It's like people not getting a reminder as the show started. So
welcome.
Yeah. And Dick Dickerson, who's given away tons of memberships, his got like screwed up, so he had to start the clock back over again. So
that's weird.
I mean, it's horrible. All right, you sent me this. I think we talked about it before, but Las Vegas tourism. I told you about it.
They're done,
now
bro.
You're following up.
Yeah, they're done.
Young
people are not interested. Although, let me tell you something. The last time I was there, which was not too long ago, it was a couple months ago, it was packed to the gills. I was there in April, right? I mean, okay, what are we in now? We're in August.
Yeah.
The streets were packed to the gills. I don't understand. I mean, it didn't seem like the hotels were empty, and it didn't seem like the casinos were empty.
We were there Friday and Saturday night. I mean, if they're empty every other day, that's
I don't know. Yeah, we were there on the weekend.
And I was told, and you could tell me if I'm right. I was told that on weekends that people drive from California, go hit Vegas, and then they go back on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? There's like caravans of cars and flying out of Burbank and LAX, cheap flights. Southwest is all specialized as Spirit, JetBlue. It's an hour flight, cheap flight, and people drive or take there's cheap flights. But it's funny when you fly down. I was making a connecting flight, and they're flying down and they're high as a kite. They're all revved up. When you fly back with them, they're all depressed and broke on the same flight, the return flight. It's night and day, Eric. It's really a weird piece of pop culture.
It's like they went and got sucked dry by vampires.
Yeah, no, they go. They're all revved up, going down, drinking, partying, and they come back. It's like they're coming from a funeral.
Well, and that's the thing. When we were there, I think I left on Monday, and it was ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
So
that usually is anyway, because people do have to go back to work. But the thing that supported it over the years were conventions, and I don't know how many companies are still having these massive conventions any longer, where they would book the entire hotel. There were times when you couldn't get a room in that town because of 20 different conventions. I don't know if they're still having conventions.
I think they're far fewer. And COVID, I think, really hit that pretty hard. But yeah, I do remember that the Vegas is one of the few places where you could have.
It's a convention center. I mean, it's
like 500,000 people in
type
of thing. So, I think a lot of conventions have downsized or shifted or done more online. But
couldn't happen to a nicer blue city, by the way.
Oh, I agree. I think they're also getting sucked dry because of casino competition all over the country.
Well, also the unions. There's a lot of different reasons, but no tax on tips, which is his idea that was usurped immediately by Kamala.
Which got signed into law, by the way, as part of the big, beautiful bill.
Oh, right. That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, good point.
People
don't
remember that. But I don't care. I don't like Vegas, so I'm kind of good.
Dude, it's such a shithole, bro. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's like a nightmare.
And the fact that it's ridden it as long as it has.
Yeah, maybe its time has come.
All right. This is a story I never thought I would see or hear or we'd be talking about. Have you heard of Ozempic penis?
This is the first time I've ever heard of it. And I've heard a lot about Ozempic because I'm in Hollywood, where they're literally passing it out on the corner.
Right.
You could go into Albertsons and get Ozempic at this point, and the knockoffs. I've never heard this, but who knew?
Well, this is like the best thing that ever could have happened to him. It's like the side effect that created Viagra.
Right.
I mean, Viagra was a heart pill, from my understanding, to help circulation or whatever. And they found out that it had this crazy ass side effect of, something really got circulated down there. And so they ignored the initial selling. Well, how many people do you think will say, wait a minute, average penis size can go up a quarter to an how?
I'm getting it tomorrow. I've already ordered it. As soon as I saw the article, who cannot, everyone can afford to lose some weight, but the increased penis size bonus, are you kidding me? I mean, what's the downside here? I don't care. I'll try it immediately.
I mean, it makes me think, like, hold on. This is a publicity campaign. This is not
let's see what happens. Maybe there's some additional studies, and it's obviously anecdotal. I'm hearing it all over the streets of Hollywood. People just can't even walk around anymore because of the size of their penises, Eric. It's becoming an issue.
They already were dicks, but
now they're bigger dicks.
Yeah, apparently. And you know what? Speaking of dicks, Jussie Smollett is back.
Can you believe this? He's on a show that what's his name was on, from Vanderpump Rules, and also Ozzy's kid Jack was on it. Had some heart palpitations. This particular show, it's a survival type show. I think and Dr. Drew was on it at the beginning. Pretty tough survival show, and now he's on it. Jussie Smollett.
Oh, that's nice. Speaking of nice people, apparently Rosie O'Donnell's predicting now. It's people are picking this up like she stated it happened. It has not happened officially yet.
No, it's just her prediction.
Right.
I just think that my prediction is they're going to wait out each individual contract, and that'll be the end of it.
That's my thought. I mean,
yeah, they're just going to, when people's contracts run out,
just like Stephen Colbert, his contract is ending. They just said, okay, bye.
They don't need the bad publicity of yanking them out of their thing in the middle of the week. What do they need that headache for?
I mean, it wouldn't break my heart to.
Well, the reverse on this, the View does have the highest ratings during daytime television, so it's the opposite of Colbert.
Wow. Okay, but then that was a low bar to cross.
Well, someone's got to be the leader, and the View is the leader. I mean, there's a lot of women who watch daytime television.
That's true. That's true. I agree. I don't know though. We'll see what.
How about the fact that this chick leaves the United States and won't shut the fuck up?
Well, it's not like she was quiet prior.
No. But I'm saying she was leaving, and you figured that was you'd hear like you don't hear from Ellen every day, and others who.
No, but she has piped up recently that she's giving up on Ireland or whatever and coming back.
Which one?
Ellen.
I think Ellen's in England.
Or whatever.
Okay, well, it's different places. I just want to be precise.
I don't know. For some reason, Ireland does come to mind, but I don't know. Chat, let us know.
They don't have to let us know because we know.
Oh, that she's in Ireland? Oh, okay.
No, she's in England.
All right.
She's in Ireland because what's her last name?
It doesn't mean anything. Okay, Ellen was in the Cotswolds.
The Cotswolds, okay.
Okay. Some people are saying the UK. Well, Northern Ireland's UK. Scotland's UK. So whatever. You guys just keep her, okay? That's all we want is keep her. And you know what? We'll throw in Meghan as well. You can have your prince back, and you can keep Meghan Markle too. Go along, have her. Speaking of another dick, since we've got a nice little theme going here. I don't know what went down here, but apparently James Carville.
Yeah, what would happen here? What was this about?
He, I guess he went after Melania.
Yeah.
And
really hard, really hard.
He made some assertions. I think that she was introduced by Epstein, or something like that. There was a segment in which he discussed how Melania Trump had met Epstein. So he's trying to tie her in with that. I don't know.
Nice try.
I am surprised.
Nice try, Hillbilly. Nice try.
Yeah. Well, he did respond. He took that down, had an apology. Boom, 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 boom. You know,
yeah. Nice try, Hill folk.
At least somebody is able to learn from that. Now, okay, this one. I don't know if you saw this, dude. I was going, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Everybody, if you're eating, put it down. There's a new flavor in town.
What is that? Mustard flavor or something?
Breast milk ice cream.
I'm Catherine Dunleavy, and today we're in Dumbo, where people are lining up around the block to try breast milk flavored ice cream. Some people have described it as fruity, while others say it has more of a vanilla taste to it. But we're going to find out why people are even trying it in the first place.
She's in Dumbo, by the way.
It's super interesting, and it's free.
I'm an ice cream lover. I actually walked over a mile to get it.
I came down because I saw the post on Instagram, and since I have a baby and I'm a breastfeeding mom, I thought it would be cool to try something like this.
Make it at home.
I've seen this, heard about this on the NYC Free, and was happened to be in Dumbo.
Tell us what you expect it to taste like.
From what I've read, it tastes like honey. That was good enough for me.
Added nutrients and minerals and stuff like that in there. I feel like it'll taste salty,
Minerals.
but I feel like it could work. You know, a little sweet, a little salty. It's got a good. It's like putting like salt on your vanilla ice cream.
Have you tried breast milk before?
I've tried my own. Yes, I always said it
She
kind of
drinks her
tastes
own.
like leftover like cereal milk, like a little
That's tasty.
sweeter, I think, than regular milk.
Ew.
So there you go, folks.
Ew.
You can get
That's down under the Manhattan Bridge for people who are not from there, from Dumbo, is the neighborhood.
Okay. Well,
for those geographically challenged.
that was
That was disgusting.
absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Wow.
You know, I switched to vanilla almond milk a long time ago, and I never changed this when it first came out. I've been drinking it ever since. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm also Hamas intolerant and other nationalities intolerant. But the lactose thing, I eventually ended up with vanilla almond milk, which I love.
Okay. I mean, that works. Goat's milk is also an option.
Ew.
Okay,
It's real
yeah,
milk, though, right? With real
Yes, it's
lactose.
they don't have lactose with goats.
Well, how did the goats?
Goats chew a cud. Cows don't. So there's a different factor. All right. Here's another story. We got the
In February of this year, I sent a letter to every governor in the country, and I said, you all are the laboratories of democracy and innovation. We have a chronic health disease problem in this country. My friend Bobby Kennedy obviously leading the way on that. The fact that taxpayer dollars
That's Barnes's favorite cabinet person.
are being used in our food stamps to buy Cokes and junk food and sugary drinks. Not only is it unfair to the taxpayer, but to allow that to continue when you've got the health epidemic and the cost of health care on the back end of that, we have to do something different. 13 states, both Democrat and Republican, have now come to us. We have, within a matter of weeks, approved those waivers, whether it's Colorado, Arkansas, Idaho, Utah, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida. They now have, and just yesterday I saw for the first time, Harris, a sign in one of the stores saying no EBT, which means no food stamps can be used to purchase. And it was the Coke section, the sugary drink section, the junk food section.
Wow.
So it's working. And this is a big change in American policy. And I just couldn't be prouder to lead the way.
That's something
good
that
idea.
I'm really glad about.
Yeah, it's a great
when I was
idea.
a kid, You know, there was a time that was completely broke, had to be on food stamps. And I always thought it was very weird that you could buy, you know, soda and stuff that is obviously not nutritious,
How about
not
candy
sustaining.
bars? Just cookies.
Oh,
and
candy.
bars.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. When I was younger, you could buy a nickel piece of gum and you get 95 cents back in change. You collected the
Is
change.
that true? Is that true?
Oh, yeah. Back in the 80s.
I don't think they still have that now, though.
No, well, that's one thing I like about the EBT cards is at least it's just a transaction. But I like the idea of, sorry, you can't be buying. You know,
Well, we have a national obesity crisis. This is a reason for this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a policy choice that is going to save lives. I don't mean that in a democratic, demagogic way. I mean, this really is going to save lives by reduction of obesity.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
I mean, how many dialysis machines can you have in the United States? They had a thing on the ballot here in California last year, 2 years ago, to have 24-hour dialysis centers because the people are so fat and so diabetic that they wanted the state to pay for these dialysis places to be open all the time, run by the state. And the people voted it down. It didn't happen. But that's the level of diabetic obesity that is in every state in the country.
Oh, no, it's a huge problem.
Huge is a good word for it. My mother died of it. She was huge. That's what killed her, is diabetic obesity.
Wow. I mean, that is tough either way.
Yeah, no.
All right. Somebody put this together. Remember we were talking about big balls earlier? I just thought this was kind of funny.
Just so we're clear, whoever put their hands on my big balls made a huge mistake. Now we're going to take over Washington, D.C. We're calling it Operation Teabag. We're federalizing the swamp, and the executive order will be named the Big Balls Act. They'll never put their dirty hands on my big balls again. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Wow. I like it. They're going to go crazy that the military's in the streets, but nevertheless, this city, DC, is one of the most crime-ridden in the country. Plus, just as he pointed out, riddled with homeless people all around the Capitol.
But by the way, folks who are watching this later, if you go, what are they talking about? There's nothing there. There was music playing underneath, so that may be copyright claimed, and I might have to clip it out later just to let everybody know if there's something not there. You can always go to Rumble, check it out for free. You can go to Locals, check it out for free. It's not going to be cut out.
Hey, what happened to our trip to Dallas?
What happened to it? It's still happening. It's
Can
happening.
we show that ad so people can find a place? There are people stopping me on the street now, asking how they could sign up for this trip to Dallas, Eric. And I said, Eric going to put up the poster during the show on Friday.
All right. By the way, people are saying, come on, Donald, reach out. It was a joke. Somebody put it together. It's AI voice. Donald didn't actually say that about my big balls, and nobody can talk my big balls.
How does anyone know anymore?
Oh, okay. Well,
no, I'm serious. People don't know.
That one's from Il Trumpo, who is a meme creator. So, folks, it was just a joke.
Well, it's not a joke that we're going to Dallas, Eric.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. No. Hang on. All right. Tell the spiel.
Well, I just want to say one thing. The Paul Blau, who is our Montreal, Paul Blue?
Blow. Like
Blow. Paul Blow,
yeah,
Bleau,
right,
has done a survey of all the JFK research community, which I filled out last night to get in under the wire. And the survey is going to be revealed very shortly on this channel.
Oh, all right.
Lot to it. You didn't see that coming, did you, Hunley?
Nope, but I've been getting those emails, so I didn't know that part was coming.
Yeah, so I took part in the survey, and he'll compile it, and then we'll reveal the results of the survey.
That sounds good. Sounds good. And a lot
he's also going to be, I think, at JFK Lancer along with everybody else. I don't know if he's presenting anything. Maybe he'll bring the survey down there.
He's there on the list.
Oh, he's on the list. Okay. Then, I mean, he knows a lot about Oswald in Montreal, Oswald in Canada, stuff. I think he lives up there still.
Fair play guy.
He's been on the show before, and we'll be happy to have him back.
Yeah, we've interviewed him twice, once with Jim DiEugenio and once in person at Kappa. So,
okay, well, the survey results, a lot of it covered what you perceive to be the effectiveness of Congressman Luna's committee and things of that nature.
Probably did well. They're plugging that so hard. Anyway, yes, we will be there in Dallas in November. The most important part of this entire piece here is using the code Untold10. You can scan the QR code on the bottom right with your phone, however you want. You can hit the link in the description wherever you are watching this. There is a link right there. Boom, boom. It'll take you right to the site. The only thing you have to remember is to use Untold10, which gets you 10% off of your tickets, and it gives us the credit that we sent you. So they're tracking, hey, how many people are coming from AUS or how many coming from that? So it's really important. Please definitely use the code. And if you can't make it, you just physically can't do it and all of that, there are virtual tickets as well.
It's almost like 90 days away, right? It's getting close.
Oh, yeah. It's, well, we're in August, so.
Yeah, the middle of August, and it's a little over 90 days.
Yeah, it's getting closer all the time. So, plan ahead. The hotels may sell out. I don't know, what the status is on them, but imagine when you get a ticket, you will hear from them, what the code is to get into whatever, into the hotel that they are using. And that hotel is, we've got.
Oh, it's a nicer hotel than last time.
Well, the last one was nice too. It's just different.
Yeah, but it was a boutique hotel. This thing looks crazy.
Hotel.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the place, but it's like the one of the main fancy whatever 4-star hotels down there. And as you can, the Fairmount in Dallas. Thank you, Cocktails.
I think it's pronounced Fairmont, but okay.
Fairmont, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's an opulent place. It's really hip. The other one was cool, but it was a smaller boutique thing, a tiny little gym, and I don't remember. Oh, there was a pool.
Well, and the other one had a little bit of history too. That was where Tina Turner ran when she was beat down.
I don't know. I don't know if that's history, but
well, it is history. It did happen.
This one I think had LBJ in it, the Fairmont.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Let me see. What else do we have here? All right. Here's a story from the Department of, I hate to say no shit, but it's from the Department of no shit.
Which is next door to what? The Department of I don't give a crap?
Yeah. Zoran Mamdani's campaign. Everybody, I'm sure you'll be shocked to know it's all from out-of-state funds. I think it's like 90%. No, 72%.
This is a national movement. This is
72% of his money comes from out of state.
Yeah.
Who? Hollywood elites.
Yep.
Billionaires.
Yep.
There is no grassroots. That's bullshit.
Yep.
They'll say that, but we know it's not true. All right. So super chats. Sarcastic Pit Bull. Hey, Eric, since Mark exposed you as a computer genius, can you tell me the best antivirus program to buy for us normies? If you're on a Mac, I wouldn't even worry about it.
Right, yeah.
But for Windows, whatever they put in, I'd stay away from McAfee and Symantec. I haven't followed them for a while, but you want the cleanest, less system intense antivirus program you can get, because a lot of them will just be eating up a lot of memory. it runs into problems with different apps, things like that. So probably Windows Defender from Microsoft, because at least I think that's Windows Defender that they're doing it. It hopefully will strain the system the least. But antivirus programs can be just a giant pain in the ass.
This is a good one. That firefighters free woman stuck inside Chuck E. Cheese game in Burbank just now. I don't know what game she was stuck inside of, but
okay,
it could happen.
No, I'm sure. Did you see that they have the adult Chuck E. Cheese now?
Did it open, or is it open yet? I knew there was. I saw a preview.
I know they're
of
coming.
it.
I don't know if they're open or not. That was a story we were going to cover, but never.
That'll go well in this town. I'll tell you right now, for violence and everything else.
Well,
they can't even operate an airport, let alone a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. They'll kill each other. They'll kill each other.
Wait, I mean, I didn't know there was a demand.
There is. They're going to create a demand, and they're going to be fighting in there.
Okay. They say so. That's
I hope they have enough security to keep it going.
All right. Well, fair enough. All right. Let me see. We got a couple more super chats here. PD. Breast milk ice cream. You definitely don't want to pull back the curtain and see how it's made.
No.
Yeah, good point. And Nick Juicy. Haven't been able to watch you guys live for a couple of weeks, but do watch on my downtime. Just wanted to stop in and show some support. Appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Please like and subscribe. Well, thank you, Nick. And thank you for watching whenever you can watch. And we do appreciate, obviously, what
you can watch without commercials if you go to unstructured.locals.com. And if you become a member, you get something, which we're not going to reveal, a secret key to the kingdom of documents and everything else there if you become a member. You know, Eric has a whole library there of stuff you could tap into if you're able somehow. I don't even know how you can do this in real time or in the real world. Somehow get your hands on $70 American and become a member. You can get all these benefits that nobody else has for the $70. How you get that is up to you, whether you have to resort to violence or crime, withdrawing it from your escrow account. It's up to you. It's up to you. Your 401k, whatever method you have, it's $70 for an entire year if you can afford that. If not, there's a free browsing method to look around, but you're not going to get the incredible benefits of the secret documents and all the rare Kennedy books that are on there, and scripts and audio dramas and everything else for the $70 a year that we charge for that privilege of membership to get the documents and secret CIA stuff.
Okay. I saw a rant go by and it's disappeared, but somebody said something about peace between Australia and Austria or something that went down. I have no
Really?
I didn't know there was something between Australia and Austria, and I might
maybe it's some old war.
I don't know, but honestly, I didn't know that Armenia was even fighting.
That's a big deal here. Glendale is right next door to me. It's
I guess you would know.
Yeah, I hear about it all the time.
Okay, well, wow.
Yeah, that war has been going on for a while.
Well, I mean, 35 years. That's a bit of a long time. You're getting to like War of the
Well,
Roses.
he put out the fire in the Congo. He put out the fire between India and Pakistan. He put out he keeps putting out these fires all around the world.
Yeah, he has. No, he's amazing. Truly amazing stuff. Well, you know what? Since you pitched locals already, that's where we're going to go.
Okay.
Head over to locals.
You're going to go over there. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll meet you over there in about a couple of minutes, and we'll talk with dirty language, obviously, like we always do when we get there. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to talk in code any longer.
Nope. And we'll reveal whatever's happening Tuesday on Locals.
Oh, yeah. That's another revelation. Right on.